Good morning. Today is Friday, January 28th. I am part of the harmonious whole, as we all are. It's Friday. I cannot believe only a few days left of the month. I don't know. It's been a lot. It's been, well, I'll talk about it more when I finish the first month. But here we go. Today, we're going to do like a family feud type of spread. So we're going to cast the cards and know that there's an opportunity for a peaceful resolution. This is, there's conflicts within family, like no family is immune. Personality conflicts, power and control issues. There are different illnesses, addictions, a number of reasons that cause contention amongst families. And so we're just going to ask some questions and we're going to see what it is in our families right now that is causing some strife. And, we're going to set our cards always, looking for that peaceful way to resolve whatever this conflict is that we are going to find out about. So let's get started. There's this light right across, but I'm going to go with it. So here we go. First question we're going to be asking is the situation as it stands. We have the Knight of Wands here. So the situation as it stands is fiery. There are big personalities involved here. There's some masculine energy, but also just a very almost unstable personality, very impulsive, act first, think later is really where the situation stands. It's something that came up very unexpectedly, maybe, or to your shock, and that's because that was the energy driving it, just very haphazard. So the way it stands is that there's a lot of just confused and muddled energy around this current situation that's causing a feud. Now, does a middle ground exist? And we had this Queen of Cups pop out, I should say. And yes, there is a common ground. So, like I said, there's like masculine energy around maybe who this situation is with that's causing this strife in the family. And the middle ground is a maternal energy. So it could be maybe this is an issue with a sibling, a cousin, a nephew, maybe, a neighbor, and it just has to do, but at the middle, sort of the middle ground is this Queen of Cups. So it's a very nurturing, empathetic, compassionate female figure, a little bit older. So that's why I said more maternal energy. It could be a grandmother or an elder in your family. Just, it could be an older sibling, it might be you, right? The middle ground though is this feminine, maternal, very compassionate energy. What role, do you play in this feud or in the situation? And we have the Nine of Wands. So you're protecting something. There's something that this energy that's been very disruptive, that has caused the situation as it stands, the strife. There's something about that your sort of role in that is that you are protecting something. You're being very territorial about this a situation, right? The situation that you're thinking that this has brought you here today. And so in regards to being very territorial and protective of the situation, that's the role you played by protecting it and trying to really reside over it and be the voice of that situation. You then played a role in this feud. Now, I'm getting some energy. It could also be, if this is the middle ground person, it could be that this person is coming, not that they're in between, but it could be a sibling situation or an in-law situation where you're trying to protect something and there's this disruption, and in the middle is this sort of person that may or may not have like something to do with an outcome. And so that could also have added to this disagreement or this feud as it stands. So is there a personal action I can take to heal? And you have the Fool card. It's really to walk away from this. So I'm definitely getting the energy that maybe this is not your fight or your issue, but you're caught up in it. Maybe it's someone in your family. Like I said, it could be two siblings, or it could be something between a parent and a sibling, and you're maybe like your role in it is that you're really like siding with your parent, or this like you're either or here. However, this middle ground person is whatever disruption this person has caused. Your role was that you took the opposite side that maybe you should have, or what was maybe expected. And so what you should do, the personal action that you can take, is this full energy, which is this was not your fight to begin with, or your issue. So maybe instead of trying to jump in with opinions and and having an opinion and really holding ground to that judgment or that opinion, maybe just letting it go, walk away from this isn't your fight to have. Do I have the strength to truly forgive? Yes, we have the Three of Wands here. And so it is, whatever is going on here is not directly to do with you, but it is close to your heart. Like I said, this very well could be a parent, a partner, a grandparent, somebody you respect, someone you look up to, and that's sort of this middle space. And so by walking away from this, you can forgive this because you recognize that you have your own life. You have your life is out in the horizon away from this. And that might be part of the issue, right? That you're like looking away. See, like the Queen of Cups is in the direction of this Knight of Wands. This nine of Wands is also, everyone is facing, if you see even the Fool and walking away, everyone's facing this in this direction, except this Three of Wands. They're facing in the opposite direction. So do you have the strength to truly forgive? You do, because as this Fool, as this action to, jump off this train and move somewhere else, you're going towards your life, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, and they are not in this space. And so there's some more questions here, but I think that's a big clue here to where we're going. Can I be the bigger person and place my feelings aside? Yes, see, just like that Three of Wands, this Six of Swords is also facing away. So you can be the bigger person, place your feelings aside, get on your boat, go in the opposite direction of this family feud, of this family strife, and you do so with your own community, and you move away. What is unsaid? King of Wands. And again, facing in the direction of everybody else involved in this, and under the Queen. So what is unsaid is this, whatever the situation is that is going on in your family, and there's this dispute. We know that it was caused by like a very impulsive energy. There was something that was said, conveyed, that really ruffled some feathers. There was some, needing to hold ground. And what was left unsaid was in this message of this abruptness and, so I'm really getting this energy of like what was said that disrupted was not thought out. It was mindless. And this King is, a more mature energy to this Knight. And so this would have been handled or could have, right? Should have, been handled in a more tactful way. However, it still would have been a very intense energy around it. But that older energy, or that more mature energy that would have handled it, is what was left unsaid. So there's more to this, that this Knight of Wands, it's like a gossip or something, right? Like this person who started this strife had some information, had something, right, that they just spilled, some tea that spilled that should not have, because it's like out of context, it's not their place, and yet they ran with it and talked about it, and that's what they did. And now what was unsaid was, from this higher position of being involved, of actually knowing what it is that, this person here sort of let out and started, we have this other person that is actually the one to do with whatever this situation is. And what was unsaid was their telling of the story. Like, this was their story to tell in however way they wanted to. It was what they were holding on to, whether it's a secret, whether it's a surprise, whatever it was. This, it's very masculine energy, also very fiery, passionate, creative energy. What they had to share and tell is the unsaid truth. And again, we know the truth has multiple sides, but it's their truth. It's their story to tell. And they're sitting in their throne. They're facing, everybody, and except, the energies that represent you, to move away from this. But they were ready to, they can, and they could have told their side, their story first, because it was there to tell, and they didn't, because this person sort of jumped the line, spilled the tea in a very abrupt, messy way that has now caused this issue in your family. What must be communicated? Wheel of Fortune. So what needs to be communicated is the timely ways that this message came about. This, whatever this is, this information that came out in your family was this person's to tell, this King of Wands energy. It was their story. It was their moment to tell. And this Knight of Wands has disrupted that. And that's why the situation is unfolding this way and why it's so messy. And what must be communicated is that all parties involved need to be reminded of time in this situation. And in doing so, all parties involved will then see the sort of timeline of how things were said, what was said, why and how this person needs to be in the middle, why you were protecting somebody or something in this story, why you just need to move away because you realize that this is not your battle. Like, all of this, what this person hasn't said, or what this person hadn't said and shared, that was their story to tell, and how this person went about it. So what needs to be communicated to all parties is that there's a time component here that no one is acknowledging, because you're caught up in so much of this really like just gossipy energy that's also really fired up right now. Like, whatever this is has really just you have cause to want somebody that's functioning from empathy and compassion in the heart space to try to bring some reason. And your position here of really just being the bigger person leaving behind is you having clarity of thought to do that. And like, from this position of this authentic, really heart space person, being the middle ground and trying to resolve this for everybody, you've gotten some clarity that you need to move along to. Like, what you were trying to fight for and protect and stuff, it's not your fight. It's not your battle. It's this person's truth that wasn't said from their mouth, that was said from someone else. And so what needs to be communicated now is that there's, like I said, a time component here, like a time lapse where all parties need to take a breather to acknowledge, why do we need this person? Why, what are you clear on that they're helping you out? But there's all this other really intense, unnecessary, fired up energy that's so heated right now that it just needs to be doused with some cold water, and just to reflect and know that everyone just needs to have a space of time to be able to express what they're feeling and what their role in this was. Would a third party help? Let's see. Would a third party help? Seven of Wands. No, it does not appear that you need more people here. So more cooks in this kitchen would just add to this, sort of just adding to it. You don't want more voices to this. On the contrary, you want one wand, you want one voice, you want the one person that this is, that has been dragged in all of this. And it's not that they're not at fault for whatever is going on, but they just haven't said their truth, their story from their mouth, and it got let out by other people. Very gossipy energy here. And so adding a third party or more people, just asking more people's opinions and thoughts on this would just confuse and complicate the whole situation even more. You know, so what's the ultimate outcome here? Oh, King of Cups. So the ultimate outcome is healing for this unsaid energy. So this king, this masculine energy, is like facing, you know, we have people facing in different directions, right? So in this first top row, it's the situation. There's this middle person, maternal energy, really feminine energy right in the middle here. You were like trying to protect something, and you know, you played a small but significant, I think, role in, not as significant as this person who spilled whatever, but in trying to protect stuff. So you moving away, go about your business with this Three of Wands and Six of Swords. Follow your path and move away from this. It's your family, you love them, you're involved with them, but this particular situation is not yours to be involved in. This unsaid energy, this King of Wands, their story to tell, and they know that, and they're holding on to that. If we give them that time to communicate, you know, what happened, how it happened, like to really sit with their story, not bringing more energy, the outcome is that they can find healing, and then they too can look away, you know, and away. This can be put behind you all, and they can heal their emotions, because everything, like I said, is very palpable right now, very heated, very it's on the surface, and so it is just in this moment right now, it seems like there is no end, and so this feud is starting to get a little out of control, so we don't want to bring more people in. But the outcome is that if we can give it this time for to communicate exactly, hear the person out, you know, functioning from this heart space that this person is going to speak, and this other person is like the middle ground that's ready to listen, and listen with the compassionate, empathetic ear, then healing can begin, not just for this person, but, you know, for the family to heal and move away from this situation into a more heart-centered space of compassion, and acknowledging that there's going to be ups and downs and gossip and misunderstandings in families all the time, and it's, you know, always caused by people, right? We have the knight, the king, there's a queen, another king, the fool. You know, we cause these situations, but we can learn from them, you know, not invite more people, learn to not always be super protective of stuff when it isn't ours to carry, know when to carry about our own business, and allow for that healing time and space. And that is what we have today. I will see you again tomorrow, January 29th.